We are just 5 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, where we will be kicking off the 2025 season. And it's safe to say, things are starting to heat up. We are getting some shit talking from some of your top contenders, but also getting some physique updates from some of your participants. Starting off with Emmanuel Costa.
Grapevine, but I ain't hearing nothing great. No, they wanna take it off from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look, I'm not.
Emmanuel Costa out of Brazil is a multi-time Olympian, and from his last update, it's safe to say he is extremely confident, showing off his conditioning at just under 5 weeks out, and this man is looking absolutely insane. He is not your favorite on paper, but very similar to how Vinicius, his Brazilian brother, just last season completely shocked the world by placing second behind Diogo. He could easily be one of those guys who falls suits. Now, nobody expected Vinicius to do that, and nobody's going to expect Emmanuel to do that, but his updates are speaking volumes of where his physique is still with 5 weeks to go. And next up, we have a guy who's already 2025 Olympia qualified, a guy who punched his ticket to the 2024 Olympia, making it his very first appearance. We have Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark is the true definition of an underdog. This man going into the show will only be able to raise his stock. Why? Because there's not many people who are expecting Ryan to be a top contender, but a physique like this easily could be. Again, he's not really missing anything. He's very balanced from front to back. His conditioning will match the majority of guys in that first call out, and not to mention his roundness and fullness and just general bubbliness to his look. He is very men's physique. He's not missing anything. His physique is insane. And if guys do not show up 100%, Ryan Clark is extremely consistent and can easily jump one of the top contenders in this show. And next up on this list, we have a guy in Guillermo Alberto who might just have the freakiest front shot that I have ever seen. And the best part about this update is it's not his front shot, it's his back. And that speaks volume, because in previous shows, Guillermo has truly cannibalized himself, where his back shot was never even close to comparison to his front shot, which in the division where there's only two shots, it's so important to have that balance. Very similar to how Erin Banks has, or even Ryan Clark, like we just spoke about. But Guillermo, his biggest strength was also his biggest weakness, because it just exposed what wasn't there. But the confidence level with an update of just his back shot speaks volumes. It has clearly improved, clearly. So I'm really excited to see what he does, because he can stand next to anybody from the front. He has the conditioning, the detail, the separation. It's almost very similar to Ali Bilal-esque. So with the height that he has and the fullness and roundness that he has in each muscle group, this man is going to be a show. And next up, we have Vitor Chavez, a guy who is consistently making improvements, and he is not shy to show off his improvements going into these shows. And what's really funny about him, he hasn't really had a lot of time off. He always does a lot of shows. He competes at the Arnold's, he competes at the New York Pros, he competes at the Pittsburgh Pros, the Miami Muscle Beach Pros, and then he competes at the Olympia, right? This man doesn't have a lot of time. He never truly has an off season to improve, but he still finds a way to do it. And that's the craziest part about it. And now going into what I believe is his second season with cuts, is again, you can only expect him to get better and better and better. And at the Olympia, he might have just been the fullest guy on stage. I mean, just like bursting out of his skin. So if he can match, these top guys' conditioning with that fullness and to continue to improve his back, let's be real. Tyler Manning has already proven that he loves his physique. So it's safe to say that he's going to continue to trend up and up and up, just like he did in previous years. 13th at the Olympia, 7th at the Olympia, and again, going to continue to move in that direction if he can continue to improve the way that he has been. And the next physique update we have is from your 2024 Arnold Classic champion himself, in Diogo Montenegro. Now, we've said it time and time again. There's not many people who can stand next to Diogo, shoulder to waist ratio and overall structure and shape. This man has it. But with missing the Olympia last season, I truly believe that this is going to be his redemption show. An opportunity to stand next to, Ali Bilal. And we said it going into the Olympia that he could likely be that guy to dethrone Ryan Terry, because Ryan doesn't have the structure that he has. And if he brought the package that he brought to 2024 Arnold to the Olympia, guys, let's be real. it could have truly went either way, because that was the best version of the Yoga we have ever seen. And if he continued to improve over the time that he's had off, especially from the Olympia to the Arnold, he is just one of those guys who can completely take this show over. Why? Because he has done it in the past, and he was on a clear trajectory to do so. We just didn't get a chance to see the improvements that he has made. And if he can bring that detail in through his midsection and stand next to Ryan Terry at the Olympia and then Ali Bilal here at the Arnold, again, with that structure, with that back, with the overall density that he has, he could easily win this show. And the next two names on this list have been the most consistent in this entire prep with physique updates. Starting off with Erin Banks. Let's be honest here. I've said it time and time again, and I'm gonna stick to my word when I say Erin Banks has the highest ceiling in men's physique. And there's not many that have the back width and density that he has. And if he could just be more consistent with just nailing his overall look, like, it's hard to sit there and say it, because I personally believe he was fuller than the guys who beat him at the Olympia. I mean, that might not be a popular opinion, but if you compare the photos, Erin was bursting out of his skin. But what he didn't have was that separation in the detail that Ali Bilal and Ryan Terry had. But I think with the updates that he is posting, I mean, if you have eyes, you can clearly see. I mean, look at these photos. The midsection is edged out, and his back speaks for itself. I mean, I have never seen Erin's back look like this already 5 weeks out from a show, and we can only expect it to get better and better and better. Erin, I believe, is weighing in close to 236, 7 at this point, maybe a little less than that by the time this video rolls out. And if he looks like that, imagine what he's going to look like when he hits his weight cap. I mean, the conditioning level. Again, the updates that we have seen are truly jaw-dropping, and it's honestly the prime reason I wanted to even make this video, because I didn't know that it was going to happen again. And motherfucker, it's happening again. Erin Banks is on point. And you can feel the confidence, because he was talking his shit on a recent podcast when he was talking a little bit more about Ali Bilal.
I beat Ali in every area. I mean, conditioning wise, he may have that. He can have that. But bro, you're not beating my structure. You're not beating my back. You're not beating my fullness. And then if we want to go part by part, no. And that's just realistic. There's no hate. There's nothing. Like, there's no one who has a better structure. Diogo has a crazy structure. So it's like, all I got to do is bring my A game, and it's curtains.
But before we can crown Erin your 3-time Arnold Classic champion, Ali Bilal did just beat him at the Olympia. And not to mention, Ali Bilal has proven to make consistent improvements with a very short window of time to make those improvements. And again, not trying to be a sucker of the moment here, but I think Ali Bilal, to me, at the Olympia, it was closer than a lot of people expect between him and Ryan. And I'm a massive Ryan fan, but Ali Bilal's separation, his detail, his overall polish, his tan, like, people say he doesn't have a back. I think he has a back. I just don't think it's as wide and necessarily as complete, from top to bottom. And who's to say that Ali Bilal can't win this show? I mean, he is the favorite on paper. And this league is about what have you done for me lately? And lately, he's second in the world. And the only person who beat him will not be showing up. Well, he'll be showing up, but he won't be competing. So again, based off of the words that Erin said in this podcast, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Like I said, the confidence is radiating. And even if you look at the response from Ali Bilal, his confidence is radiating. I mean, these physique updates, let's compare them side by side. Erin, without a doubt, has the better structure. He also has improved dramatically in the conditioning, because I haven't seen at 5 weeks out Erin's conditioning ever look like this. But Ali Bilal's conditioning is probably right now, and no disrespect, is going to be better than almost everybody else's who's going to be on that stage at 5 weeks out. Like, this is the detail and separation of a champion. Like, I haven't seen anything like this before, and he just looks like a dragon, the scales of a dragon. He looks absolutely insane. So Ali Bilal versus Erin Banks, 100% at their best. I'm curious to know who you guys think will win that battle. Comment below. In a recent Instagram and YouTube video posted by Ariel Cuts, he announces that he will be coaching in a former NFL star in Greg Jennings.
I'm really excited for this guy. You guys might know him. Greg Jennings played receiver for the Green Bay Packers. He's a champ, one of the best to do it. We are officially 21 weeks out of his first NPC show.
For those of you who aren't aware who Greg Jennings is, You might remember him from this video.
But dog, earlier dude, the nigga broke his fucking leg. How is he running with a broken leg? Look at this nigga holding this shit, dude. Dog, he put the team on his back. Dog, I gotta do this shit. I put the team on my fucking back, dude. My leg broke. I don't know how the fuck I'm running right now, dude. I'll do this shit.
Damn, now that video was nostalgic to my childhood. Comment below if you've ever seen it. But let's be real here. Greg Jennings is mainstream. I mean, he works for Fox as an analyst as we speak, and he is one of the greatest Packers receivers of all time, and arguably one of the greatest receivers of all time. He was unstoppable in his era. And if this man is now finding interest in competing in bodybuilding, in men's physique, let's be real. Guys, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna be massive. And if you look at Greg's physique, he's not a small guy. I mean, he played in the NFL as a receiver, right? So we can only imagine he's at least 6'1". And then if you look at his actual muscle groups, right, his shoulders look insane. And he has like a little snippet on his Instagram, but it's like a cover photo. But if I zoom in on it, he has a pretty solid shape. I mean, his shoulder to waist ratio is phenomenal, insane structure. And being a taller guy, if he can fill in some of the small gaps that he has, again, who knows? This man can potentially go from a former NFL star to an analyst on TV to winning an NPC show to even potentially being an IFBB pro. Greg Jennings is going to give the division and the sport some added eyeballs. And I'm going to be covering every step of the way. In a recent podcast with Steve Weinberger, and who I believe is the guy who runs the social media account for the Olympia, Steve highlights the potential opportunity for an elimination round.
People don't like the length of the Mr. Olympia competition. It will take time away from the men's open and make the shows too long.
I could understand that, and I think we need, and there is talk about it, an elimination round that is not even with the show. Like if there's 60 people that qualify or 70 people that qualify for men's physique, we chop it down for just the top 15 move on. I think that would help that tremendously, and I understand what they're saying, and I don't think they're wrong. Nobody wants to sit in their seat for 6 hours and watch a show.
So there you have it. We have talked about on this channel, on the Men's Physique radio channel, and every other outlet out there has also highlighted the issue of the fact that there's too many people walking across the stage at the Olympia, taking away the prestige of it. The first year I competed at the Olympia, there were 72 guys qualified. 72. This past year, I believe it was 64. And that's not just for the men's physique division. That's for classic, that's for bikini, right? The divisions are growing. There's more shows, and that's a good thing, right? Our sport is expanding, but at the same time, it's like a double-edged sword. It's expanding, but it's also expanding almost like the prestige, which we want to limit that at the biggest show in the entire world. Because the cool thing about the Arnold Classic is that it's invite only. So there's only like 10, 12 guys walking across the Arnold Classic stage, and that's for almost every division. So it's efficient, it's quick, right? And because of that, you're getting the best of the best. Where at the Olympia, don't get me wrong, you deserve to be there. If you want a show, you deserve to be there. But if you take a look at the amount of people who are on the stage at the Olympia, it just takes away from the elite feel of what it's supposed to be. Now, I'll be honest, there's still a lot of questions that I have about this elimination round. Does the previous champion automatically get a bid to the Olympia? And if so, that subtracts a name. Or is it the top 3? Because it used to be the top 3. And if that's the case, will the previous winners of years past also have an automatic bid to the Olympia? Because that's what it's always been. And we already have, 5 champions? So say all 5 of those guys were to make a comeback. That means 5 people will automatically be bidded in, and the top 2 out of the 3 previous will also be. So that's 7 names right off the bat, almost half taken out of the opportunity to step across the Olympia stage, so that means there will be 8, 9, maybe 10 added people every single year to the Olympia, which I feel like isn't necessarily fair, especially, going from, say 70 people all the way down to 10 new people being added. And that could raise a lot of red flags and also cause people not to simply just want to compete anymore, knowing that they'll likely not be in that top 10 conversation. Let's be real here. There's not going to be a perfect solution to this issue. We are going to have to get comfortable being very uncomfortable as fans, as athletes, and if we want to continue to make the Olympia and bodybuilding, more of a mainstream sport or a feel or just attractive to the outside world, there's going to be moves made like this. So, like I said, a lot of questions, but at the same time, I do believe a decision slash move has to be made to make sure that we still secure the overall allure of what the Olympia is. And now that we are caught up on all things men's physique, I wanted to take a quick second to thank each and every single one of you guys for the support over the last year on this channel. We are just about to restart up Men's Physique Radio in the second week of February as we approach the Arnold Classic. We have a lot to catch up on, and I'm telling you guys right now, we are just getting started with what we have planned for the coverage of the Men's Physique division, from this channel to the Men's Physique Radio channel and the collaborations that we are going to have. And if you guys are looking to step on stage for the very first time, earn your IFBB Pro card, or simply shut it down to focus on adding quality tissue to be dominant next time you step on stage, I am now accepting 5 clients. All you guys got to do is click the link below, and I will reach out to you within the first 12 hours, getting a chance to know you, your personal goals, and also how I plan to maximize your physique and your potential going into the season. And as always, Men's Physique fans, I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Got my name in stone.